Looking for a camera to help you shoot 4K at an affordable price? In this video, I'm going to unbox the Sony A6400. Check it out. Hey, what's up? My name is Matthew with MatthewCreating.com, and on this channel, I do setup videos, tutorials, and overviews just like this one. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. So my current setup is the Sony A5000, which you're viewing me on now, and I also shoot with the Panasonic Lumix G7. And I use these two cameras together, and the Sony A5000 doesn't have the ability to shoot 4K, and the Panasonic G7 does. And I want to be able to upgrade my content to 4K video. I do a lot of zooming in and focusing on different musical equipment where I need to see the details of different screens and synthesizers. So I want to be able to upgrade my future videos to 4K. So therefore, I'm going to go ahead and use the Sony A6400 and replace my Sony A5000 with that. Let's get right into the unboxing. So here's the Sony A6400 in the box. This is the body only version. There is no kit lens in this version. You can order it with the kit lens. It costs a little bit more, but since I already had the Sony A5000 and I had the kit lens for that and I have a prime lens for that, I went ahead and decided to get the body only version. Let me go ahead and open this. Here's some documentation here. 1-year warranty. It's the quick setup guide, and this is the E-mount. Okay, it has the E-mount on there. So let me go ahead and just pull this thing out of here. You get the Sony A camera strap here. It's nice that they did include that. Here is the battery. Again, this is the NP-FW50, same battery as the previous camera that I have, the Sony A5000. So this gives me 4 of these batteries, since I already had 3 previously. Here's the eyepiece for it. And here is the Sony charger, so I can go ahead and charge this. Now I did see a video with this in operation with the charger connected to it, so hopefully that is the case. All right, so here is the body right here. Let me go ahead and pull this out. And that seems to be it for the box right there. Put that to the side for now. So let me go ahead and pull this out of here and try to stick a kit lens on here and see what we get. Here it is. Right away, I noticed the body upgrade on this compared to my A5000 is really nice. Has a good weight to it, feels good in my hands compared to that. Okay, and then the second thing I noticed, it has these clips on the side which are rather obnoxious. If you're trying to carry this, you know, and you're walking around with it, you're going to hear those clips. I actually put rubber bands on my A5000 to prevent noise from that. Let me go ahead and even show you that. So here's the Sony A6400, here's the A5000. Now you can see these blue rubber bands on the side. I put those on there to keep it from rattling. It does a good job of doing that. I just wanted to show you that. I'll go ahead and compare the two bodies in the future here. Let me put that to the side for now. Okay, so on the front, you got where you put your lens right here, E-mount, and then you have, you know, your switch here. This is your on and off switch. Looks like there's a function button here. It's likely programmable, so you can make it whatever you want. And it says Sony here, A here. Looks like there's something there probably for focus abilities, etc. Looks like there's 2 slots here, probably for the microphone. So if you look right here, there's a circle with a line through it. That's going to show you where your sensor is. So whenever you're trying to focus and you're messing with the focus ring, that's where your sensor is. So that's basically, if you're focusing a foot away, this is where the starting point is of the foot that you're focusing, okay? So there's some branding here, A6400, 4K. There's something here to kind of keep this shoot. All right, so you can put a microphone or a light or whatever you want right there. I'm going to keep that covered for now. So it looks like there's probably a flash right here. There's a box right there, so that's probably where the flash is. So you have all your settings here. The A5000 did not have this, so that's good to have there. And you have this right here. So you have this dial here. It's another dial. So it probably helps you scroll through menus or something. I don't know what it does. First time using this one. Again, these are extra things that the Sony A5000 doesn't have. So this is going to be nice to go ahead and explore this thing. So here's your viewfinder. This will go on top of that. I'll leave it off for now. This is going to help you go ahead and focus that viewfinder for you. Right here is a flash, so I'm assuming when you push that, there you go. Your flash comes up, you have your flash, you can put it back in, you're good to go. There's a menu button here, your focus settings here. So you got autofocus, manual focus, and then AEL, and then there's a button there. Looks like there's a function button here, a record button here. This is likely for your video. Underneath that there's a dial that you can turn, and then you can push this button in the middle here, and you can actually click top, bottom, left and right here. So a lot of functionality there. This button here is going to allow you to scroll through your current pictures and videos, and this is going to allow you to trash it. And it looks like it says C2 here, so you could probably program this button as well. So my Sony A5000 did have this flip up display. This one has it as well. So I can tilt it. You can see right there, I can go ahead and tilt it. So this Sony A6400 does have a tilt screen and it does flip up. So I can tilt it like this. If you look at the side profile, I can tilt it up even as far as that. I can pull it out like this and, you know, view it down like this. So if I was holding my camera up high, I could still look at it. I can also pull it out like this, pull it like that, bring it up like this, and put it in position. This position would be good for if you're alone and you want to see if you're in the shot. You could do it right from the camera here. So this is very nice to have on the camera when you're shooting yourself, etc. You have that option. Put that back into place. And this actually feels decent. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna break it. It has a nice stiffness to it, okay, where it's going to stay in position. I feel like it's going to stay in position nicely, and I don't really have to worry about it too much. Give you a side profile of it here, okay. Very nice. Just going to put it back into position. See how easy this is? Not too bad. So on the right side is a grip. I don't have the biggest hands, but it does feel good in my hands. And on the side, there's a clip to go ahead and put your strap. On the left side, there's a clip as well. It says Wi-Fi. Looks like there's a spot right here. There's likely a speaker here because there's 3 holes here. So that's going to allow the sound to come out of the speaker. And looks like there's a panel I can flip open. So how do I flip this open? Pull it this way. And there you go. And revealed under there is, it says charge or CHG. So I'm assuming that means charge. Looks like a HDMI out and a USB. Right here it looks like a 3.5mm microphone input. It's red, so I'm assuming that's an input and not an output, which is a nice upgrade from my A5000 as well. Going to go ahead and close that. Okay, very simple there. Let's move to the bottom. All right, so there's a screw right there, or a place to put a screw, so you can mount this thing however you wish. Standard size right there. Okay, and let's pop this open. SD card slot and battery slot. Now this is kind of a downgrade from the A5000 because the A5000 does have a place to put your SD card on the side, so you don't have to remove your camera from a mount or anything. You could just pop it open on the side and pull it out. But likely the reason they did that is they did add this, you know, microphone input, and the A5000 doesn't have that, so they probably had to have room for that there. So I don't think that's going to be a big deal, but it is right there. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and open up my memory card. I did buy a memory card for this. So I purchased the SanDisk Extreme Pro SDXC, and this should be compatible with it since it says SDXC right on the side of the box. As you can see right here, SDXC1. Now this SanDisk is designed to record in 4K. I did purchase the one that has 128 gigabytes, and it has 170 megabyte read speed. Okay, so this read speed is actually for whenever you plug it into your computer, it reads that fast from my understanding, but it does do 90 megabytes per second when you're taking photos in your camera. So this is the updated version from the 90 megabyte read speed. I'll leave a link for this in the video description if you want to go ahead and purchase it, and I'll leave a link for the camera in the description if you want to purchase that as well. Let me go ahead and open this. And with this SD card, it looks like there's a free download for a 2-year subscription of Rescue Pro in case you're interested in that software. it is in there for you. Let me go ahead and open this up and pop it in the camera. And to show you how this works, it's in the lock position, push it to the side, pop that open, SD card goes in here. There's a diagram showing you which way to put it. It's like it goes this way, push it in there, click it into place. Okay, so that's the memory card there. So I'm not confident that this has a full charge, so I'm gonna put this on a charger and I'm gonna bring in one of my other batteries to put into here. So give me a second here. Just to show you, these are exactly the same batteries. This is my old battery, this is the new battery. NP FW50, same exact battery as my Sony A5000. So I'm just gonna pop the old one in because this probably doesn't have a full charge. Just gonna pop that in right there. Snaps into place with this blue latch, close it, and it should be good to go there. So that's the complete tour of the outside of the A6400. What I want to do is go ahead and put the kit lens from my A5000 on here and see how that works. Okay, so I want to pull this cap off, just like so. And here's the lens for my Sony A5000. It's an E-mount lens, and right here it says E-mount on the device. As you can see, there's a white dot on the device here, and there's a white dot on my lens here. I'm gonna line those up, just like so. Now, once these are lined up, I can turn this into place here, and it basically just snaps right into place there. So now that's secure, and what I wanna do is just power this thing on. There's an on-off switch right there. It is in off location, turn it to on. Push English. Set area, date and time. Let's go with New York. Daylight savings. Guess we could turn it on. And date and time. Let's set this. It's Tuesday, March 26th. So I'm gonna put this on March 26th, 2019. And it is 9:28 p.m. I'll put 29. And how do I change the AM, PM? Maybe I need to put this up. There we go. 9:29 p.m. Okay, enter. English, date format, date, year, enter. I'm gonna go year, month, date. To me, it makes more sense to put the year, month, and date. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. And enter. All right, and enter. All right, Sony Play Memories. So I did download this app on my phone. Going ahead, push play, push go there. I could have probably scanned that with my phone, but I'm using my phone. Actually over here, I'm using the phone for something else, for my camera, so I'll come back to that. And there you go, we're in business. 100% charge on the battery, so battery's working fine. All right, here's my Sony A5000 and my Sony A6400. This one is a touchscreen as well, so I can focus on things, touching it. And ta-da! First picture right there. And the kit lens for my Sony A5000 is working just fine. I can change the zoom just fine. Touch the autofocus, which is a nice feature. My Sony A5000 didn't have that feature, so I'm looking pretty good. Quick comparison, let's compare the body frames of the A6400 to the A5000. The A5000's right here, this is 6400, okay. Now don't pay attention to the lenses, just pay attention to the body. You can see that this is wider, okay, and it's actually taller as well. And it looks like the microphone is actually up here on the A5000, and the microphone's right here on the A6400, so that's the difference as well. The flash button is here on the A5000. Flash button is actually down here on the 6400. There's what it looks like on the side there. Sony A5000 doesn't have this mounting bracket here, so you can't mount a light or anything onto your Sony A5000. This whole configuration is different here. Now, the A5000 isn't as nice to fit in the hand, it's small. The grip isn't quite as luxurious as this one here. You can see there's just place to put your finger here on that. It just feels a lot better for sure. You know, the button configuration is a little better. Now I could definitely see if you have bigger hands, this might be an issue for you. I think everything's in position, so I could touch things easily here. I don't see these buttons being a problem for me, especially since I'm going to be using this mostly on a tripod. But if I was carrying this around, you know, I think this is actually quite nice. I don't see any issue with it. Now the a5000, there's none of that here. So you don't have this quick menu here. You actually have to go into the menu and scroll around. Let me put the other battery in here. Oh, actually there's a battery in there. Let me turn this on. So you actually got to go in there and find this menu. So that's the difference there. The movie buttons here on the a5000 is actually back here, the a6400, which could be a good or bad thing. I don't really see you pushing that by accident. Maybe you will, but it seems to be out of the way enough. All right, the back is a little different. The menu buttons here, menu buttons there, and the flash is on the top of this one. There is a viewfinder here. This area is basically the same, except for there's an added function button instead of the menu button. So the menu button's up here on the a6400, and right here, there's an extra function button. Okay, and on here, that's actually the menu button. All right, and the screen, if you look, when I pull this out, I could pull it out like that. You do the same thing here, but that's the only option for this. You can't really tilt it, and you can't pull it back down this way where you could look at it with, you had the camera facing up above you. You can't really look at it that way. This one, you can actually pull it down like that. See what I'm saying? So definitely a lot more option there. And you can have it pulled up and out. Okay, the bottom, these are pretty much in the same spot. Okay, right there. Right there's the battery. It has the same blue switch, to unlock it or lock it into place. But the SD card on the a5000 is right here. So if you just pop this open, there's the SD card, which definitely is nice. On here, it's actually within. Kind of more difficult to access, but it's a trade-off because you get the microphone input here. So you can plug your microphone right there. Here, no microphone input, none whatsoever. So you're stuck with the microphone that's located on the top. Sound quality of the microphone on here is not that great. So recording with an external recorder is essential. On here, you could probably get pretty decent sound quality right in the camera, so you don't have to worry about syncing things up. So that's a bonus there. The mounting system is the same. So there's the APS-C sensor on here. It's the same kind of sensor, and it's the same kind of mounting, where you just push the button there, it's going to unlock it. You can pull that off. Same here, push that, it's going to make it where you can pull that off. This lens, it's actually the kit lens from this. So it's an E-mount system, and you just can swap the lenses just fine, no issues. All right, and then looking at the top, you can see it has this button here. There's nowhere to be found here. It has this extra dial, which I'm not really sure what that does yet. I'll have to find out what that does. So therefore, the a6400 is a huge upgrade from the a5000. If you're finding value in this video, smash the thumbs up below. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want more videos like this. Next thing I want to talk about is why would I upgrade from the a5000 to the a6000? Now, obviously, I went over the hardware. The hardware, there's just a lot more options on the hardware here. They both have the flip screen, but this one is more articulating, where you can actually look at it, different angles. You could tilt it different ways. This one just articulates straight up. So that's an upgrade there. And a huge upgrade, which I've watched videos about, the a6400 does not overheat. So I've seen videos where people just put this thing on and they leave it on for an hour outside and it didn't overheat. This thing, I had this thing on for 15 minutes in my studio here, and it's inside and it overheated. Obviously, that's a big issue. You could record videos, I think about 25 minutes-ish long on here, but if it overheats in 10 minutes, that's not really good. So I find myself, I have to, take breaks in my video recordings, let this thing cool off, turn it off, let the AC blow on it for a few minutes, and then eventually, I can turn it back on. And it's my understanding that heating issue has been addressed in the a6400. So you can record for an hour, over an hour at a time. I've watched videos where people recorded 40 minutes at a time, hour at a time. and they had no overheating issues, and it wasn't that 25-minute limit. That's a huge reason, right? Next reason I have for upgrading is this does have the microphone input. So if I'm out on the road and if I'm outside, recording, I could just plug a microphone into it. All right, and I could just take this one, record right into the microphone input and not really worry about it. The bracket here is going to be in a way if you want to flip the screen up and look at yourself, but there are ways to attach something here and it extends out to the side where you can have the microphone out here, or you could put a cage on there and have the microphone to the side there, and you can still flip the screen or have the microphone to the side here. There are options, you can also put something on the bottom and here and have it extend out where you could put a microphone on the side here or on this side. So there are ways around having that there with the flip screen, because let me show you. Obviously, if you pull this up and you have a microphone right there, it's going to be right in your field of view. There are ways to overcome it. Another huge difference is the autofocusing capability on here. If you look at the box, it even advertises it 4D focus. You have the phase detection, 425 autofocusing points. You have real-time eye autofocusing, real-time tracking. This autofocusing is supposed to be like the next level in autofocusing for Sony cameras. So that's a huge reason to go ahead and upgrade as well. And you can see all the things that they're featuring here on the side, so you could go ahead and read through that. So you can see right there. So I'm telling you a few reasons why I'm upgrading from the A5000 to A6400. Now I could still use this as a second shooter if I want, and I have the lenses for each one of them. And this right here is actually a prime lens. This is the MatthewCreating 25mm f1.8. So that's going to enable me to, use this manual focusing lens to get the nice bokeh effect or the defocus background effect. It's a nice lens for $75. So I could use that, and be good to go and have that nice effect. And I will say there is no in-body image stabilization. So you have to use external devices or lenses that have optical steady shot. This one actually has optical steady shot built into the lens. So, there's ways around things, but there's no image stabilization inside the body. So you have to use external devices. And I've even read there's other devices you could put on there to work in conjunction with the optical steady shot. I don't know too much about it, but I read briefly that there are other options to make the shots more steady, just so you're aware. So if you want to do more research on that, go ahead and do so. And as I was saying, I'll post links for the memory card, I'll post links for the camera, and I'll post links for the lens right here in the description. All right, so what I want to do now is go ahead and switch the lenses out. I want to put this lens on here and record my outro, so you can go ahead and see what the camera looks like with the prime lens on the A6400, and eventually I'll do some comparisons between the two. Give me some time to do that. I'm a busy guy, but I think it'd be worthy to go ahead and compare the two. And I want to do some 4K text, etc., and focus on my musical gear to go ahead and give people that are actually into recording detailed on drum machines and etc. some kind of comparison. Maybe you're looking to get into recording and making tutorials yourself. I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of comparison. And as I was saying, just give me a little time to do that. I'm a busy man, but I'll eventually get to it. I had the Sony A6400 with the MatthewCreating lens on it. It's a manual focus lens, and I have the aperture set to 1.8, and this is what it looks like. This is the same lens I was using in the beginning, but I was using the Sony A5000. Is there a difference? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to have to review the video. I am still shooting 1080p because this video is going to be 1080p because, I was using a camera that only shot 1080p. So I'm going to use 1080p for this particular setup, but in the future, I'm going to start using 4K. This is going to, give me a little bit more clarity whenever I'm focusing on, my equipment, when I'm recording my drum machines, my synthesizers, what have you. You'll be able to see more detailed those particular items. Hey, if you're finding value in this content, give it a thumbs up below. If you want more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to do more videos about the A6400, so go ahead and click or tap the screen right there. That's going to take you to the playlist about those videos when I come out with them. And if you want to see my most recent video, click or tap the screen right over here. It's going to take you to my most recent video. And if you want to subscribe, click or tap the screen right there. My name is Matthew. Continue to create music, and we'll talk soon.